Thank you, everybody. I'm extremely excited to be here, especially with Upbit being in person this year. So I probably owe all of you guys an introduction. My name's Hecht-Felella. I am a global lead of strategy and operations for the DevRel team here at Polygon. What that means is I try to make everybody do their jobs and best serve the developer community. And while we're here and while we're talking to you, the biggest focus for us is serving all of you, the developers, making sure that you guys understand the products, making sure that you guys understand the upgrades. So I'm going to talk you through how Polygon got to where it is today, where we started, and where we're going. But prior to doing that, I probably owe you all a little bit of a background of who I am. So I started my crypto journey back in 2017. I worked with an asset management as a researcher, doing regulatory and risk research, doing asset research. And I quickly realized that I needed to go back to Web 2 to understand the industry that we were trying to disrupt. Understand the fact that Web 2 simply doesn't understand the importance of community. And that's the first step that Polygon took to its inception. The first thing we did is we met developers where they are today. We saw that Ethereum was the clear winner for where developers want to be, the highest adoption. It's become the default home for dApps. And it's simply the largest developer community. So if our goal is to serve the developer community as Polygon, we needed to meet them there. And you guys are all probably asking, what's the issue then? Why does Polygon actually exist? And it's simple. There's one problem. There are too many dApps and projects that want to use Ethereum. This makes interacting with the chain too slow and too expensive to hit mass adoption. All of our goal in this room today is to get to 1 billion users on Web3. And if that's our goal, we need something that's scalable, we need something that's fast, and we need something that's cheap. So what does that actually look like? Well, it looks like Polygon. And we've made this to meet developers where they are today, to reach the global scale that we need to. There's a reduction in gas fees. It's much faster than Ethereum, and we're simply sustainable and carbon negative. So as we think about building for the future, we're not just building for the future of tech, but we're trying to build a better tomorrow than what we have today. That means that we're taking the environment into account. That means that we're taking tech into account. That means that we're listening to the community of developers and the people using and providing solutions for them. Now, all of this is great and abstract. So what does it actually mean? Well, it looks like this. Our developer dApp ecosystem. We have products across wallets, dev tooling, DAOs, oracles, B2B businesses, and those are just the highlights. Those are the big industries that we're working on disrupting today, but that's not it. Some of my favorite projects that we work with are in different industries, are the things that you wouldn't think about. And it's being innovative like that that'll get us to 1 billion users on Web3. And, well, simply, these aren't the only logos we work with. Our growth of dApps on Polygon has reached 37,000 as of August of 2022. That's a 10x growth in less than a year. Look at the January 2022 number. I mean, I'm giggling up here because I'm astounded by it myself. In January of 2022, we were at 7,000. Thanks to our partners at Alchemy, we're able to show the growth that's happened. And 37,000 was of August. If we're continuing this exponential growth, it's only going to get bigger. Now, I've talked a lot of abstract. I've talked a lot about what the ecosystem looks like, how many dApps are on our chain. But what does that look like for each of you guys, each of the developers, each of the end users of that platform? Well, it looks something like this. Our success of Sunflower Land. This is an open source, community-driven Web3 game that's entirely built on Polygon. Now, these are great stats, But one of the coolest things is that it's maintained and upkept by 50 open source developers. That is truly taking a community-driven approach to solve problems, to create applications. And it's not like they're sustaining something that's small. There was over 100,000 farms minted in the first 2 weeks after launch. Since then, they've continued to grow. There's 110,000 users and almost 1 million transactions in the last 30 days. These kind of projects are why we do what we do. These kind of projects are how we're going to reach 1 billion developers on Web3. Now, you guys are probably all asking, why Polygon? Why are these projects building on Polygon? Why do any developers build on Polygon? And the answer starts back at our origin. We've started in 2017, and we've gone over this. The goal was to make an Ethereum infrastructure that's ready for mass adoption. That meant listening to developers. That meant going to conferences. That meant building out a developer relations team that's robust enough to answer the questions and answer the problems that might come about. And that's resulted in a Polygon suite of scalable products. Polygon POS, Avail. I'll talk a little bit more about the products in the next slide. But what all of these do is it leads us to what our end goal is. Transactions, over 3 million transactions average on the daily. There's over $7 billion that secure our network. And all of this while making sure that we're enhancing the Ethereum user experience, that we are lowering transaction fees, lowering finality speed. And we've resulted in being the fastest growing dApps platform for Ethereum. We've become the standard for blockchain, games, NFT, and DeFi. Some of those biggest logos that you saw behind me prior, and some of the partnerships that we'll talk about that we're continuing to build for. So these products that have got us to where we are today, they're in 2 buckets, chain architecture and dApp tooling. If you go across the top, chain architecture, you've got public server and dedicated server, and Polygon POS, our bread and butter. This is how we make Ethereum more scalable, without the fees and the friction, and making sure that we're answering and meeting developers where they are today. And what that means is we need to get to the next gen of ETH scaling, which is our ZK proofs. Really interesting technology that, quite honestly, if you ask me the details about, I'm sure I could try to answer them, but our engineering team that's why they exist. That's why we have a dedicated solutions engineering team on the DevRel team, to make sure that we're answering your questions and we're bringing products to market faster. Now, on the dedicated server front, we've got supernets. Creating your own chain, making sure that we have modularity in the solutions that we're providing. On our dApp tooling front, imagine getting pulled over and being able to show an ID that was in your wallet instead of a physical one. That's what we're working to build for. We're working to build for the next generation, the new internet. That's what Polygon ID is. And then we've got our enterprise solutions, which has resulted in huge scale partnerships. And partnerships are how we're going to get to those 1 billion users. Partnerships are how we're going to make it the standard for new things to be built on Web3. So all of these have resulted in particular benefits. I could go around the flywheel and talk through them, but the one thing I will do is highlight 4. Our scalability, our user experience, our developer experience, and our modularity. Our scalability allows us to reach people. It allows us to hit mass adoption. Our user experience, well, we're simply not going to bring users over from Web 2 if we don't have a high-end user experience. The way we're going to bring them is by not having them see that the behind-the-scenes rails are run on better tech. Having the same experience, having zero gas transactions, having instant settlement. And the developer experience. We aren't anywhere without our developers. We aren't anywhere without our community. So we need to make sure that we're providing the best developer experience possible, and that we're providing a modular developer experience. How do we solve the problems that are at hand if we can't shift and shape as we need to? If we can't shift and shape in order to make sure that the things that we're solving for are relevant. So those relevant people, those relevant solutions, those relevant use cases are shown behind me. Some of the biggest logos across the Web 2 industry and Web 3 industry are working with us. We're building out enterprise solutions for them. We're partnering with them in order to make sure that we are creating a better, more sustainable, faster future for the end users. In the entertainment bucket, I mean, some of these logos are crazy. When this conference started, if you had asked me in 2018 if any of these logos would be on the page, let alone all of them, I would have been shocked. In the entertainment bucket, you've got the Chainsmokers, you've got the NFL, you've got the Dolce & Gabbana. Maybe I should be wearing those sunglasses up here. This light's a little bright. And then you've got the DeFi and FinTech. Technology that's cutting edge in what they do, partnered with Polygon, makes them better, faster, and more scalable. Robinhood, the first feeless equities transaction platform. We're partnering with all of these people and all of these enterprises to make sure that we are building towards 1 billion users on Web3. And enterprise is the last bucket I'll actually cover here. Then, honestly, the logo I want to talk about is not even the logo that's here. It's the Starbucks partnership with Starbucks Odyssey that we just announced. We are working with Starbucks to create an NFT loyalty program. Starbucks has the largest loyalty program and is actively working on building that, and they want to bring a better tomorrow for the users that are actively on that platform. What that means is creating new experiences, creating tokens, creating NFTs for them. And we're actively working with these partners to make sure that we're delivering and we're being modular. And then gaming. We've got an entire gaming team which is focused on both partnerships and increasing the experience and making it better. Come talk to us if you want to talk about any of these partnerships. And lastly, what I'll cover is developer success. As I said, going back to the beginning of this conversation, we are nobody and we are nowhere without our developer community. That means that we have to train them. That means that we have to understand their needs, listen, and close the feedback loop from developers to the engineering team, to shipping products, to shipping upgrades. So we've created hackathons. We've created Village, which is our Polygon DAO, and our fellowships program, which is led by Akash over in India as a model, and we're going to continue to grow that. Our 2022 class was incredibly impressive. And across developer success, we're not just focused on training them, but we're focused on communities. What that means is people like Kevin, who's about to come up and talk to us through communities, are focused on making it better. They're focused on community discords, community advocates, devs, and community guilds. Kevin, why don't you come on up here? Talk them through the amazing work that you guys are doing.
Thank you. Thanks, Henry. 안녕하세요. 저는 케빈입니다. I'm the regional lead for developer relations for Asia Pacific, and really excited to be here today. So, at my role, I talk to a lot of builders and developers all across the world. And there's one thing I can say confidently, is that Korean developers are awesome. Korean builders are some of the most talented, driven, and have a knack for business and commercialization. And we're always thinking how we can help support developers along the way. Some of our global programs, like our Discord, I strongly urge if you're a builder, you're a developer, please join our Discord. We have a developers hangout channel where you can ask all sorts of technical questions, hang out with other developers, learn from one another, and this is going to be an incredible experience for you guys. We also have our Polygon Advocates program, where we have hundreds of advocates from more than 30 other countries coming together, learning about Web3 together, and also advocating for Web3, advocating for Ethereum, advocating for Polygon. Because we strongly believe the best way to learn is to learn together. So I strongly urge everyone here, to please give it a look. Google Polygon Advocates program, and hope to see you there as well. And of course, we have all kinds of amazing stuff when it comes to helping developers succeed. We announce all sorts of incubators, accelerators, all kinds of learning programs, workshops. Henry shared a little bit about the different programs we have. So the best way to get all these updates is actually from our Twitter account. So if you're not following us, please do today. Follow us on @0xPolygonDevs. That's where the first-hand information are going to come, and you'll be in the know. All this amazing, amazing free stuff for you guys. Please take advantage of that. We also have an amazing Polygon Guilds program where we have more than 30 over 40 guilds right now, all around the world. And these are some of the global programs we have. But remember that the builders in Korea are awesome, right? So our team is constantly working hard, thinking, what can we do to make it a little bit easier for you to build? What can we do to lower the barrier just a little bit more? And I'm proud to announce that developer docs since a couple of weeks ago are now available in Korean, making it incredibly easy for you to build an amazing dApp we want to be able to help. All you need to do is to, at our developer documentation website, go to the top right, toggle it, change it to Korean, and it's in Korean. We're constantly improving and updating the website and documentation. Or you can scan this QR code as well. This shows our commitment to all of you here today. And of course, we mentioned a little bit about the Guilds program. This is a community of builders, developers coming together, sharing with one another what they're building, and incredible community. I strongly urge you, if you're based in Korea, please do scan this and join the Telegram group. So I think I'm taking a lot already. I've talked about some stuff, but very important thing is that at Polygon, we never come from an angle that we know all the answers to everything. So I strongly urge you, we have a booth right there. You think that Polygon should do this, should do that, feel free to share your thoughts. We're here to listen, we're here to talk. We're happy to connect with the builders. Please reach out to us. And with that, I'm going to pass it back to Henry. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, I literally could not have done that justice, right? This is why we pull up our team. This is why we have such a big team. This is our focus on Korea. It's building the emotional connection with all of you. It's enabling your success. And it's working to become the #1 platform of choice for all of you to reach 1 billion users on Web3. Thank you. Let's connect.
Thank you very much, Mr. Henry Hecht-Felella, and also Kevin. So now we would like to take one question from our audience. 네, 저희 질문 하나 받아보겠습니다. I will actually read it out for you. 일단 한번 읽어드리겠습니다. 이더리움이 POS 전환 이후 업그레이드를 통해 스케일러빌리티를 확보한 뒤에도 폴리곤이 필요한 이유가 무엇일지요? 이더리움의 성능 개선이 폴리곤에게 위기로 다가올 수 있는지요? So what is the reason that Polygon is needed even after the scalability is ensured after the POS upgrade? So better Ethereum's performance can be a risk to Polygon?
I can probably answer a little bit on that. That is a fantastic question. We get it a lot. So a lot of you are familiar with Ethereum going through the merge, moving from proof of work to proof of stake. However, if you look at whatever we're doing here at Polygon, do you realize one common thing? We're trying to bring Web3 to the masses, the public. We're not talking about the next 100,000 users, the next million users. We're talking about the next billion or more users. And there's so many use cases, so many games that can be built, so many killer metaverse apps that can be built. The question is back to you. Do you think Ethereum at its POS state, and even Ethereum 2.0 is gonna be enough at 45,000 transactions per second? Probably not. So there's gonna be a ton more activity on a ton more blockchains. That's where we're focusing at. Mass adoption, which is billions and billions of transactions, and we need to do that with clever and amazing tech, which we're really, really proud of today. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you very much for your presentation and also for your answer.
Thank you, everybody.